Welcome to another RSR. Tonight we're reviewing Florida Panthers 3, Toronto Maple Leafs 4. Leafs win! Game 2 of round 2 of the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. Leafs lead the series 2-0. Pinch me, I must be dreaming, because this Leafs team is different. They skated with the Panthers stride for stride through 2 games in Toronto and won both. Lose their main goalie? Doesn't matter. Joseph Wolff, maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my Joseph Wolff. Maybe. He steps up tonight. Big win for the Leafs. He did let 3 through, but you know what? He did last night, or Monday night. They still won. So, that's life. That's life, eh? The Florida Panthers had some chaotic goals. Maybe some cheaty goals, but you know what? The Leafs still skated with them, punched him back. Right there, and the Leafs still win. 2-0 series lead. Man, if they steal one in Florida, this is the Leafs series, man. They got to steal one on Friday or Sunday. And you know what? I think they will. I think they will steal one, because that's the way they've been playing. This team is different. What Leafs team has ever punched back like this? And they didn't even really hurt anybody. They didn't even try to do anything dirty. They just played hard hockey, clean through the whistles, and still laid some big hits on the Panthers. It was a damn roller coaster, but the Leafs still won. Goals were scored as follows. 10:58 through the first period. A power play goal for the Panthers. Seth Jones assists Sasha Barkov. Jones plays it to Barkov. Barkov takes the shot. Woll is way off the side of the net. Only 5 seconds into the power play. Barkov takes the shot, snipes it past Woll. You kind of want that one, but again, it was facing the face-off. It was still on that side of the ice. Barkov snipes it. Good goal from him. Heads up from Sasha Barkov. Very underrated player. He really is. And he scores 1-0 for the Florida Panthers. But 8 minutes later, 18-19 through the period, a power play goal for the Leafs. And it's their second power play unit. They finally score a power play goal, though, this series. Domi plays it to Riley. Riley shoots it on. Pacioretty taps it in. Bar down past Bobrovsky. 1-1. The Leafs tie it up. And at the end of one, it is still 1-1. They tie it up and they keep the tie going to intermission. Good for them that they did. And the first period, was it pretty? No. Do I think Florida was the better team during the first period? Overall, yes. I think the Leafs were a little bit questionable throughout their game in the first period. They got better as the game went, of course, and the periods went. They got better as the game went. I think they got into it as the game went. Florida threw punches, started to throw some punches, figuratively, not literally, because they weren't so dirty tonight, weirdly enough. I'm surprised they weren't dirty at all tonight, really. I didn't really see it. Crazily enough. They really just threw metaphorical punches, and the Leafs stood up and punched back. And was it a pretty first period? No. Did the Leafs try to be kind of cute throughout the game? Yeah, but they still did enough to win. In the end, the Leafs still did enough to win, but we'll get going throughout. Second period, 15 seconds into the second period, Luostarinen and Lundell play it to Marchand. Marchand bodies Morgan Rielly onto the wall. Skates in front of net. Lundell plays it to Marchand. Marchand taps it in to the near post where Woll isn't. 2-1 Panthers. 3 minutes later, though, the Leafs punch back again. 4:18 through the period. Pacioretty centers it to Nylander. Nylander puts it over the shoulder of Bobrovsky to make it 2-2. Even better, 17:09 through the period, the Leafs take their first lead of the game. Not of the series, but of the game. Riley plays it to Lawrence. Lawrence drop pass for Max Domi. Max Domi streaking in, puts it over the shoulder of Bobrovsky to make it 2-3. Maximum Domi, baby. Finds a way to be a hero, at least for the moment. But a good goal for Max Domi, his second of the playoffs. And when he needs to score them, he scores them. Max Domi out of nowhere on that drop pass. What a play, man. What a play. End of 2, it's 2-3. And the Leafs, I think, are better throughout the second. Their second was better than their first. Their third was better than their second overall. But in the end, the Leafs, they were so good on the breakaway, on the counterattack. If I could steal the term from football, they were very good on the counterattack tonight. On the rush, on the counterattack. That's how the Leafs won this game. They were good on the counterattack. They punched back. They got their goals. There you go. And they always found a way. This team is different. Third period, 5:33 through the period. Luostarinen plays it to Ekblad. Ekblad crosses it along the ice for Anton Lundell. You can't sleep on him. Takes a shot, taps it in past Woll. 3-3, a chaotic play that leads to a goal and a tie game for the Florida Panthers. But seconds later, 15 seconds later, mind you, 5:50 through the third period, Matthews plays it to McCabe, who plays it to Mitch Marner, who says, you know what? I got new dad strength. I'm going to shoot this thing from far out. And he does. Pots it top bins over the shoulder of Bobrovsky. 3-4. Gets the winning goal, Mitch Marner. Papa Mitch Marner. Dad's strength worked for him there. He got the winning goal. Mitch Marner, 3-4. And the final, the Leafs hold on for 14-10 of the game. They hold on, no empty net goals. Yes, Florida pulled the goalie with like 2:50 left. It was like over 2:30 left, but less than 3 minutes. They pulled the goalie. It was less than 3 minutes. They pull the goalie. They don't score. The Leafs hold on. They play defense. Joseph Woll made some big saves down the stretch. And the Leafs kill the clock once again, just like they did in Game 1, except they didn't allow any 6-on-5 goals this time. 3-4, a 1-goal win, but who cares? The win is what matters, and the Leafs win the game, lead the series 2-0. They win both games in Toronto. And, dude, was it chaotic? Yes. Does it matter? No. No, it doesn't matter, because they got the win. Was it a 1-goal win in both games? Yeah, it was. But in the end, you know what that means? You win. Is it pretty? No. Is Florida that good? Yeah, Florida's that good. I was afraid of them for a reason. I was afraid of the Panthers for a reason. I didn't expect the Leafs to step up like they have and play to them. Skate with them, stride for stride, and punch back like they have. I have not expected this at all. Was it the prettiest game? No. The Leafs played a perfect game for 2 periods in Game 1 and still only won by a goal. Because Sam Bennett injured the starting goalie and Woll went in cold and let in 3 soft ones. But we still won. After playing a 45, 50-minute perfect game. Arguably. This game wasn't as perfect as Game 1. We still won by 1 goal because we punched back. It doesn't matter how you do it. It matters how you do it. I think we've learned this by now. And the fact that the Leafs can do it now is the big win. The Leafs can do it. They can punch. They can fight. They can find ways to win. They never have done this before. This has not been them before. And that's the good part. Because you want them to be like this. You want them to win. They have to find a way. And they do. Florida Referees on their side. Department of Player Safety on their side. Dirty-ass team. Still doesn't matter. The Leafs win. And a 2-0 deficit really looks good on you, Florida. You deserve that. Because the Leafs owned you in Toronto. Unlike 2 years ago, this team is different and they could skate with you. And when they do, they find ways to win. Because Craig Berube is a winner. They find ways to win. God bless you, Craig Berube. God love you. God love you, Chief. You're a legend. You are a legend. He has these guys playing the right way to win playoff hockey. And damn it, I love it. E2H5. Damn it, I love it. I love it. I love it because they play the right way. They play with heart. Even if they don't look their best, they still play with heart. Joseph Woll, you beauty. Yeah, he let 3 in, but you know what? He still made the saves when he had to. Wonderwall, the kid from Dardenne Prairie, Missouri. Which is funny because the backup who came in to win Craig Berube a Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues was from Richmond Hill, Ontario. The backup who came in that might just be the guy who backstops the Leafs to a Stanley Cup championship under Berube, from Dardenne Prairie, Missouri, which is very, very close to St. Louis. Look up KMOV severe weather coverage. You'll see what I'm saying. It's closer to Chesterfield, but either way, it's funny, ain't it? It's funny, ain't it? Toronto suburb for the Blues, a St. Louis suburb for the Leafs. The kid from Dardenne Prairie, Missouri. You love to see it, eh? You love to see it. Player of the game for me. You know what? You know what? We'll give it to Joseph Woll. We'll give it to Joseph Woll because he stood firm. When it mattered, he stood firm, just like game 1. I thought he had a pretty solid game. The goals that went against him were cheaty, chaotic goals. The first one was bad, but the second and third, those were chaotic. Marchand bodies Riley into the wall, then goes in front of the net. It's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to stop. That was kind of cheaty and chaotic. Ekblad just throwing it in front for Lundell. Chaotic. They shut down the empty net, though. The 6-on-5. Woll made the saves he had to. Bob didn't. And that's what matters. Joseph Woll, player of the game. I'm giving it to him. He deserves it. He stood in firm for the Leafs in the end. And I love it. Joseph Woll, you beauty. Craig Berube, you beauty. Nylander, 3 straight games with a goal. Yeah, you beauty. Well, nobody scored game 5, that's true. You beauty. Max Domi, Maximum Domi, you beauty. Max Pacioretty, 3 straight games with a point. And he heard us talking shit. He's like, oh, you're going to do that to me? You beauty. Matthews, I want better from him. I have to be honest. I want better from him. But the Leafs have won 2 games at home against the Florida Panthers, the defending Stanley Cup champions we were so afraid of. I was so afraid of. We got both in Toronto. We steal 1 in Florida. This series is as good as ours. Simple. Simple. It is. And hell, I wouldn't mind them sweeping Toronto. Would be awesome. The quicker you could end this, the better probably. Saves people from getting hurt that shouldn't get hurt. So with that being said, I won't complain if they sweep. I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't complain. Well, of course I wouldn't. That's my team. But with that being said, this is the best I've ever seen them do as a Leafs fan. The first year I was a fan and paid attention, they won 6 games in the playoffs. 4 against Ottawa. Funny, ain't it? 2 against the Philadelphia Flyers, who were pretty dirty back then as well. Funny that, right? This year, they have been above the second best I ever seen them do, which was 4 first-round wins and 1 second-round win against the Florida Panthers. This time, they have equaled the best I've ever seen them do 21 years later, 4 first-round wins against the Ottawa Senators. Funny that, right? 2 playoff wins against the Florida Panthers, and we ain't done yet. 6 down, 10 to go. I'm hoping to see some uncharted territory from the Leafs. I'm hoping to see some uncharted territory that I've never seen before. I know they made a conference final in my lifetime, but when that happened, I was a baby who couldn't pay attention. So, when I started paying attention, they made the second round, lost in 6. Let's hope they get number 7, because at this point, you better at least get number 7. If not number 8, and then get to the third round. And at that point, I think we're going to the Stanley Cup final. Florida's the same way, though. If they somehow win this series, they go to the Stanley Cup final over Carolina or Washington. Washington and Carolina are not on the same level. I'm sorry. Whoever wins this series, this is the real Eastern Conference final. And right now, the Leafs have a 2-0 lead. 6 playoff wins, 10 to go. Let's get them, baby. The passion that unites us all, and they're finally going to do it. You love to see it. Well, I don't know, but it looks like they're finally going to do it. And Florida's going down like a fallen heavyweight, it looks like, and you love to see it. If you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once you're subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you tomorrow afternoon. 1:55 Central, 2:55 Eastern for the second leg of the Conference League semifinal. Chelsea versus Djurgården. Chelsea has a 3-goal lead. They shouldn't blow this. And they're playing better now, so they shouldn't blow this. But we'll see. If they win and hold on, they go to a final. Hell, if they hold on, they go to a final. But at this point, we're still doing the Conference League final anyway, so it's not like we're losing anything if Chelsea did blow it. But I would hope they do make the final. With that being said, I'll see you later. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. Let's go. There we go.